It is Monday, February 13th, and we are so excited to be here with you this morning. Apologies for the late start, little technical difficulty on our end, but I think we are up and running now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in to make sure you get the most important topic in the housing market this week, and that is 3 ways to generate listings. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to walk you through some really powerful content today. I'll give you access to all these slides at the end of the deep dive, but we're going to talk about where inventory is right now, especially as we go into the spring buying season, because the chatter we are hearing is that every agent is looking for listings, or most every agent. We want to make sure that you have those opportunities. We're going to help you generate listings with really powerful conversations. We're going to talk about that today. And then at the end of the deep dive, I'm going to give you access to our ultimate listings pack. So let's go ahead and dive right in. 3 ways to generate listings right now. Everything you need to know going into the spring buying season. So I want to begin first with this slide. This is from realtor.com, and it's US total listing counts going all the way back to January of 2017. Now, total listings is a combination of new homes and existing homes. So when you put all of those together, you can see first, 2017, 2018, 2019, as you look over on the left side of this graph, kind of a pretty typical cyclical pattern of listing counts in this country. Really starting low, increasing through the middle of the year, and coming back down on that seasonal pace where you start to see listings tail off towards the end of the year. Well, then what happened right here? This is March of 2020, and that is truly when the meaning of home changed. And we see a very different pattern when we look at total listing counts after that, because, that's when homeowners or potential buyers said, you know what, I need something different. I need a place for safety, security. There was a lot of uncertainty in the world around us. People started working from home. They started schooling their children from home. It was entertaining at home, indoor, outdoor space. Gyms were closed throughout the country. People needed to work out at home. They needed something different in a home. And that drove buyer activity up significantly. You've heard us tell this story so many times. At the same time, mortgage rates hit historic lows. And so when that happened, buyer activity really skyrocketed. The demand for homes increased, and we've caused prices to go up, and listings, more buyers and homes available in the market, started to decline. And so what you can see here is that total listings now, over on the right side of your screen, nowhere near where they were at pre-pandemic levels. So listings were low, inventory was low going into the pandemic, and we're lower now. And if we break that down a little bit further, you can see this data here shows the number of homes for sale is increasing, but listings are still 43.2% lower than before the pandemic from 2017 to 2019. And that's exactly what you can see right here. So inventory has jumped up from 2022 to 2023. This is active listings. This is a measurement of January listings over the past 7 years. Definitely more inventory, but certainly nowhere near pre-pandemic levels. So, we are in this spot where, yes, there's a little bit more inventory on the market than there was last year and the year before. Those were total anomaly years, but not enough to meet buyer demand, not enough even more towards those more normal markets. And that's because homes are staying on the market longer. We're not seeing a flood of new listings coming in, but homes are staying on the market longer. The pace of sales has slowed. So what does this look like throughout the country? I love this next map because I think what this does is it shows what is the perspective, from coast to coast. And you see a lot of dark blue on this map. What this means is that there's more inventory across the country than there was at this time last year. So more homes to choose from, but I'm going to break down how this looks like on a month over month level as well, because that's where it starts to get confusing. If you look at this map, January of 2023 compared to January of 2022, definitely more listings. But what's happening on a month over month basis? Well, we can see that the change in inventory is starting to come down. So more inventory than last year, but we're starting to feel that pressure of that real tight inventory space, not enough homes on the market to meet today's demand. And that's exactly what you can see here from December to January of 2023. This is the latest data that we have. Inventory has declined. So yes, there's a lot of information out there about what's happening with inventory. And I want to make sure that you understand this because it can really help educate your clients. We want you to step into that space of being that educated advisor and helping your clients understand what's really happening. So more to choose from year over year, but definitely still not pre-pandemic levels. And we're starting to feel less and less inventory month over month, as you can see from this map right here. So what does that mean? It means generating listings is going to be really, really important for you as an agent going into the spring buying season. You want to make sure you can help your clients. You want to drive your business. You want to help them find a home. You want to do all of those things. So understanding inventory is really important because in order to generate listings, there's a few things we want to make sure that we can put in your back pocket to do this right now. So when we talk about 3 ways to generate listings right now, there are 3 conversations you need to be having at this moment. And the top 3 are diligently working expired listings, talking with your clients about the equity they have in their homes, and reaching out to people who bought homes over the last 2 years. So I'm going to break down each one of these because each one really, really important. This is all about right now having conversations with your clients, with your neighbors, with your friends, with anybody who you interact with that could potentially be looking for a home. And until you have those conversations, there may be more listings out there that you can go take advantage of and that you can put into your business pipeline that you don't even know about. So we're really encouraging you to have these conversations. So I'm going to break down each one, but what I want to share with you before we do that is this quote right here from Dave Ramsey. It says, when getting help with money, whether it's insurance, real estate, or investments, you should always look for a person with the heart of the teacher. And this is you. So as you go into having meaningful, powerful conversations with your clients, it's really important that you take that perspective of being a teacher, being the educated advisor. You have to build trust with the people you're engaging with if you're going to drive listings, if you're going to help them, if you're going to be that person who can help them make a powerful and confident decision. We never want to pressure anyone into doing something that they're not ready to do, or if they aren't ready to buy or sell or whatever that is. That's, we never want to pressure anyone in that space. But being the heart of the teacher and being that educated agent, that trusted advisor, that's what's going to help differentiate you from the other agents as you have these conversations. So I want to start with the first one, and that's diligently working expired listings. We know right now that there is, homes on the market. There just aren't enough homes on the market, and homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. Buyers are being a little bit choosier. So that means listings are going to expire. And so if you look at a seller has 4 options when their listings expire, and I'm going to walk you through each of these, because if you are the educated agent having conversations with sellers whose listings may have expired, you can really be a differentiator here. Now, the first one is if a seller's listing expires, a homeowner's listing expires, they can relist with their current agent. And some people may choose to do this. And what we have at the end of the day is, if someone chooses to say, hey, I want to stick with my current agent, absolutely. Ethically, we let them go ahead and do that. We don't step into that space, maybe find out when that next listing is going to expire and be able to re-engage the conversation later. But some people will choose to say, I know my home didn't sell, I'm going to make some changes, but I'm going to stick with my current agent. However, some homeowners, their listing expires and they're like, you know what, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe they take their house off the market and they say, it just isn't my time. I'm going to wait. We'll see. Well, if you have meaningful conversations with these potential sellers, you can understand their needs. You can better understand their motivations. Ask the right questions. Why did you want to sell in the first place? What are you really looking for? If they choose to take their house off the market, there's some underlying reason that you can get to as the trusted advisor and to help engage them in conversation. It's about asking those questions and really understanding those needs. Now, some of those homeowners may decide to list the home on their own for sale by owner. And, having conversations with people who are thinking about doing this as well, really, really meaningful because you, as a trusted agent, know how complicated this transaction can be, from paperwork to negotiations to all of the logistics of selling your house effectively. You want to take those hassles away from the potential seller. You want to make sure that they understand how much you can help in this space. And so being able to have conversations with someone who's thinking about selling on their own, you could be the game changer to make this sale possible. And the fourth thing that they can do is relist with a new agent. And that's where you come into play. If you can show your value and position your value in these conversations, be that trusted advisor. There are people out there who are saying, you know what, I really do want to move, but I haven't found the right person to help me through this process. You can absolutely be that person. So diligently working expired listings, mission critical right now, because at the end of the day, homes that are priced right, that are in good condition, that are staged properly, they're selling. And if you can help a homeowner understand that and set clear expectations and guide them through that process, that can be what tips the scales for you to generate more listings. So that's number one. Number two, we said, was talking with homeowners about their equity. I want to start with this quote right here because it's so powerful. This is from Adam Data, and it says 48% of mortgage residential properties in the United States were considered equity rich in the fourth quarter. So most recent data, meaning that the combined estimated amount of loan balances secured by those properties was no more than 50% of their estimated market values. So nearly 50% of mortgage properties have more than 50% equity. That's huge. Homeowners today are in many cases sitting on more equity than they realize. That's due to long-term home price appreciation. We know that home ownership wins over time. It's due to the home price appreciation that we've seen even just over the past couple of years. So many factors have kind of driven home values to increase, and helping homeowners understand how much equity they're sitting on could be game changing because they have changing needs. They might need to downsize or find a larger home or whatever it is, but being really supportive and helpful in this environment and talking to people about how much equity they have could tip the scales for sure. So let's look at the CoreLogic Homeowner Equity Report. This is from Q3 of 2022. So latest data that we have, the average equity gain for a homeowner over the past year was over $34,000. Year over year percentage increase in equity was 15.8% for the average homeowner with a mortgage, and a total of $2.2 trillion in increasing equity. So homeowners, clearly the data shows that they have been gaining equity. They're sitting on equity that could be what drives them into their next opportunity. Having conversations with homeowners to help them understand this is mission critical. And I think this map, we've got a lot of maps today, and I love them so much because they're so powerful. If you look at the percent change in home prices, this is just over the past 5 years. The national average is that home prices have gone up 60.6%. This is according to FHFA. Some states much more than that. There's a lot of equity out there. And if a homeowner has been in their home for any length of time, chances are they're sitting on significant equity that could power their move. And, I think that's really important for homeowners to understand. We have another map similar to this that shows that over the past 30 years, the percent change in home prices has been almost 300%. So if you think back to, who are the people you want to talk to help make sure they understand this, if they've been in their home for a little while, they might have more equity than they realize, and that can help drive their next move. But they have to understand that based on your expertise. All right, now the third way to generate listings is to talk with homeowners who have potentially bought over the past couple of years. So why is that? Well, there's a lot of studies and there's a lot of headlines out there that talk about how people may have rushed into the home buying process during the pandemic. They rushed to buy in the pandemic. Here's what they would change. They bought their first homes during COVID. Now they regret it. Recent US home buyers are being hit with massive wave of regret. Now, as I look at this, I don't think that this is every home buyer who bought during the pandemic. I think there's a lot of people who made great moves. They got what they need. They found exactly what they were looking for. But there's others who may feel regret. Now, we know that anytime someone moves into a home, whether they're satisfied or not, there's something they would change. If they've been there 4, 6 months, they might be thinking, oh gosh, I wish I had a bigger pantry. I wish that I had found a larger backyard or I had a different layout. Whatever it is, everyone's going to look at their home and go, there's something I would do differently. That is typically normal. But on the flip side, there's also a small percentage of homeowners who bought in a rush, in the frenzy. They were getting outbid. They had to see a home sight unseen. Maybe they stepped into something where they didn't realize there, was a dispute in the neighborhood or something that changed how they felt about the home after they got in there. So reaching out and having conversations with people who have recently moved to understand, hey, what do you like? What would you do differently? How can I help you? All of these conversations are about the how can I help you? How can I help you truly get into the home that you need, be that trusted advisor, and be able to help someone make the right choice? And there could be some homeowners out there in your local area who need to hear from you because they rushed into the process and they're not happy, and you can be that differentiator. All right, so let's recap on the 3 ways to generate listing. Reach out, diligently work those expired listings, talk to people about how much equity they have in their homes, and then reach out to those people who may have bought over the past couple of years. You just never know who may still want to move. And this, as I mentioned multiple times, is all about having meaningful conversations. The more conversations that you have right now, the more doors will open for your clients. You can help them, you can drive your business, you can get listings going into the spring market. And I'm going to share this visual that you've seen us use before. We call it the turn story, but this is exactly where the housing market is right now. And so if you think about a race car driver and they're going around the track, anybody can go on the straightaway. And that's what the housing market was like over the past 2 years. Pedal to the metal on the straightaway. It was zooming forward straight ahead. But, to win a race or to win a championship, you have to make your moves in the turns. That's where races are won and lost. And when you think about race car drivers coming around the turn, they're being very strategic. They're picking their line. They're doing everything they can to make their move in the turn. And that is exactly where the housing market is right now. We are in a turn in this moment. And the agents who are thinking strategically, who are picking up the phone, having these conversations, getting out in their markets and talking to people about how they can help, how they can be the educated agent, those are the ones who are going to be winning in the spring market. Those are the ones who are going to win the championship of 2023, whether it's individually with your team leaders, going out there, educating your teams on how to make moves right now, be prepared for the spring market and everything beyond. And it's all at the end of the day about having those conversations. And that is exactly what we want to make sure that you can do. Have conversations with those who have expired listings, talk to people about the equity that they have in their home, and reach out to those people who purchased over the past 2 years. And so one of the ways we're going to help you do that is, as I mentioned, with our ultimate listings pack. You can go to trykcm.com/listings. We have so much good stuff packed into here. This is a free download for you. It has our seller guide that you can give to your clients if they're thinking about selling their home this spring. It has our professional equity assessment report, so you can help your buyers or help sellers understand how much equity they have in their home. It has all kinds of different resources. These are tangible downloads that you can take away, you can use in your market, you can use to drive your business as you continue to head into this month, next month, and the many beyond. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right here and ask Jessica if we have any questions that popped up today.
Hi, Kate. I did see just a couple of questions come through. One from Jill, who had a question about the statistic, 34,000 in equity gain. She asked, was that 34,000 gain for the third quarter only?
That's a great question. That was year over year. So from third quarter of 2022, 21 to 22, it was 34,000 on average in that year.
Awesome. Thank you for that clarification, Kate. And
Yeah.
then one more from Janine, who said, how would you advise a seller who is concerned about the inventory when they turn into a buyer?
That is a great question as well. There are so many opportunities, and this is where really getting in touch with what's happening in your local market to help them understand what are they looking for, what do they need, really kind of open those doors. A lot of people are looking at new construction right now as well. And so, agents being that trusted advisor in the process, there are builders who are looking to offload new construction too. So there's so many opportunities. But I think at the end of the day, it's really about understanding your local market and being there with them along the way.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Kate. And then just one more thing I want to say. I saw a couple of people who just mentioned they had some issue getting the stream this morning, and we did have some technical issues. The deep dive is live. So I just want to give a reminder to any KCM members, you can always head over to the deep dive archive in your member area. You can watch the full recording, full replay, and get all the resources there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you everyone for being here this morning. Don't forget to go download that Ultimate Listings Pack, and we can't wait to see you back here. We will not be live next week because it is a holiday, but we will be back right at the end of the month. Thank you so much.